Hello everybody, my name is Elenator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 424. We're in 1.15.1 on day 6145. Lot of days. But yeah, here we are. I realized that I didn't fully fill up the shulker box, but that's alright. I'll get to that later. But otherwise, we have some tree chopping to do. And it kind of occurred to me as I was thinking about it. I didn't bring any shulker boxes for the wood I'm gonna collect. Oops. Oh wait, hold on. Howdy Paul, welcome back. Alright, never mind, we're all good. Alright, so yeah, let's do some tree chopping. It's that time again. I feel like this is gonna go rather fast. Last time I did all this tree chopping, it definitely took a while. Thankfully, I don't have to do that again. I'm also gonna be chopping down every tree because oak wood I could use for the shelves. Birch wood can be turned into chests. I was also thinking about it and I realized, wait a minute, I have the ability to turn all the dark oak that I still have left over into chests. Yeah, I can't do anything about the portal other than get rid of it and try again, but we're just gonna leave it as is. Let me also whip out my notes real fast. Alright. And a doink. A doink. Yeah, hopefully we don't spend too long over here. What I'll probably end up doing is focusing on the shelves next. And that way, once I spend all the oak wood, again, then I could spend the other types of wood on the chests. Let's just get all the goods here while we can. There's a lot of sticks. Did they do something about the drop rate? Maybe not. Maybe I just haven't chopped down trees in a while. Alright, back to work. Oh, can I hail a reach? Yes, I can. There we go. There are indeed poofy trees here. I want them gone. Every tree in this area will be gone soon. Either that, or I fill up on inventory space and therefore do not get the opportunity to make every tree gone. But we'll do what we can. I'm working towards removing every single tree. I want this area free of them. Especially now since I'm chopping down birch trees as well. They don't need to be here. And I need the wood. Alright, where are the logs in here? Oh, I see one. Oh, and both of you were preventing this tree from going away. Thankfully, that's no longer a problem. Sneaky logs. They were buried. Looks like it's already turning nighttime, but it's only been 5 minutes. I don't know if I can remove every tree within 1,000 block radius. That's a rather large radius. Because that means it's 2,000 blocks in all 4 directions. Or 2,000 blocks across on both axes. Howdy and welcome back. I don't know what this mini player is you're talking about. Alright, let me plop down my... Oh, that's just a cow. I thought it was a pillager over there and thought there was another raid coming in. A scouting party or whatever. No, on mobile, when you close a video that's playing, goes into a mini player. I'll say sure. I've probably seen it before. I understand the concept, at least. Alright, leaves. Can you go any faster? I want to move on, but these saplings could be beneficial. More furnace fuel. Is there another log in there? Hold on. Yep. You. You were a problem. I'm gonna hope now that would be the last one. Alright, well, anyways, back to tree chopping. Off in this direction we shall go. I already have a bunch of gold, but I don't plan on making golden apples. I have plenty of bacon for a while. When you say I move my mouse fast, are you talking within these streams? Because I feel like that sounds like a lag spike on your end. Alright, any more hidden logs? I'm gonna hope not. What do you mean by old poofy trees? Are there new poofy trees? I didn't think they changed the design other than sideways logs in 1.3. 0.1. No, 0.2. 0.2 they started generating that way. Is that a lemon? Is that supposed to be your golden apple? A golden lemon? Aren't all lemons generally golden? I'd have to look at the wiki and see if it makes any mention about tree shape changing. Nom, 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 nom. I haven't played enough modern survival to know what modern day trees look like and how they feel to chop down. And honk. Our inventory is already almost full and we've been here 10 minutes. That's not a good start. He was talking about all the apples I was collecting. All I would need for gold is gold to make golden apples. He didn't have a golden apple, he only had a lemon. I feel listening is coming. Pineapple. Could not pineapple that one. Oh, that's already another stack completed. With the amount of different types of fruit, when people look for an apple, they generally want to have the typical red apple. I see the green Granny Smith there, though. You really think they're going to include every type of apple that people like to consume? Yawn. Yawn, I say as if it's been a long day. Howdy to you as well, welcome back. There's a hidden log up there. I saw it. You have a problem. It has to go away. Your statement's starting to sound like Hunter. He's not here currently. This day goes average. Working more on music for my triangle game earlier. Paul, what are you talking about pineapples? Sounds like the pineapple fell and clunked your head, even though I feel like that story would have made more sense with coconuts. I can't Halo reach that. Waste of durability. To this day, I'm still mad at Axe's insta-breaking leaves in Dev Plus. Waste of durability. Every time, hands down. Can't change my mind. That's a problem for future me to deal with, though. Still undecided as to whether or not I will indeed return to it after UMP goes on break again. That is a very detailed picture of pancakes. Why is that so detailed? That looks like the, what was it, the Big Mac? The Big Mac I used for the textures as a replacement for leather. The peach isn't detailed, it's just, has a lot of shading applied to it. But yeah, the pancakes there looks like a real picture, as opposed to an artistic drawing. See, that burger does not look as detailed. Am I just seeing things? Any hidden logs? Nope. Howdy, potato. It all started with Paul talking about apples. Because I'm chopping down trees and I'm picking up apples. We don't have golden apples. And so, I should say we don't have golden apples for chat. So all we had are lemons. I'm not seeing the detail of the strawberry. I'm still seeing it only in the pancakes, and I don't know if I'm just seeing things. Maybe I am just seeing things. Oh well. Both versions of the pancakes I'm seeing are take up very small screen space. I'd have to see a full resolution render. Zella Moon? Interesting. I guess it makes sense that a blue moon is available. I'm not seeing a 3D model portion of it, I'm just seeing lots of shading. I don't know why they put that face there. It's not that horrifying. The pancakes probably is an image of a 3D model. Alright, let's go reset the weather timer. I guess we don't have to go anywhere, we can sleep up here. As the Zella Moon rises in the game. Perhaps, Paul, once you see a properly detailed version of Zelanator, you will disagree with the robot being as close as possible. Minecraft skins, I should say the head of Minecraft skins, each face only being 8 by 8 pixels, does not allow for a lot of detail. One thing I learned about Bedrock, which I will give it +1 point, and I'm sad it's not available on Java yet, but on Bedrock, it supports image textures 128 by 128. That's twice the resolution of 64 by 64 for regular. Well, I guess 4 times as many pixels, but each dimension is twice. Anyways, not important. Important part being, I didn't realize you can have high resolution skins on Bedrock until I was looking at the settings not too long ago. I wonder if the reason is each skin is hosted on the client side, and so when playing with other people, you tell the other people, hey, this is the skin texture I'm using. Whereas Java Edition, Mojang hosts the skin textures themselves. And so they could theoretically require up to 4 times as much storage space, considering just how many Minecraft accounts there are. That's a lot of storage space for skins. Oh well, that's just my theory. I'd like the ability to change the color tinting of water. We can do grass and leaves and other plants. Why can we not adjust the color tint for water? Maybe one day we'll also be able to get rid of swamp water through standard means. Howdy, Jonas. Welcome back. Oh, is there a wood block in there? I think so. Oh, I see it. Logs used to just be called wood, right? All the way up until 1.3 or so, when they finally decided to give different names to the different block variants. Because I had the memory of everyone calling the logs just wood. Wood and wooden planks. Decisions. Which trees do I want to chop down next? Having incompatible personalities is not anything new, I feel. Wouldn't needing to dye the different waters, wouldn't those need to be extra data? Extra data per water bucket, if that's what you're referring to. Or are you talking about water overall? I don't currently have a name for the planet in Population Zelinator. I haven't thought planet yet. I'm still on the world scale. I haven't gotten there. I haven't thought that far ahead. Speaking of Population Zelinator, finally took me a while, but I started keeping track of every named Zelinator. There are a bunch of small ones that I would only ever use for 1 or 2 scenes, and I wanted to keep track of all of them. So at long last, I have one centralized location. It only took me, 5 years, but that's okay, I got there eventually. And now, this is the part where we put sticks in my offhand, because I need more space. We're also going to be heading back soon, since I need more space. And so hopefully with the amount of what I have now, this will make some progress. I'll also need to see just how much dark oak I have. I was planning on working on all the chests first, but I think I'd rather have the shelves in place, since those are going to be cheaper. Nom 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 nom. What part of regular taiga makes it best for super flat? Where did all the trees go? In my inventory. Where did all the baby trees go? They're going to the furnace. I need more furnace fuel. Especially with all the smelting I've been doing with all that glass I had to do recently. I haven't yet figured out the episode release order for Population Zelinator yet. I have not yet decided which one comes next. Possible to get every food in game with a taiga only world. Interesting. Come on. I see the sapling up there. You gonna do this? Oops. There we go. When I didn't feel like wasting axe durability needing to chop down the pillar. This is beta 1.2 terrain. There are birch trees here. This is the beta 1.2 outpost. It's not too far from the alpha 1.2 area. You'll know we hit alpha 1.2 once we start seeing oak trees in the snowy biome. I now have 2 sticks. This isn't particularly what I wanted. In fact, we have a problem, because now I have a bunch of saplings I can't pick up, because my inventory filled up with sticks. Alrighty, so I guess I'll be leaving behind... What's safe to leave behind? Probably these saplings. I don't know what the biomes are now, but the snow's still there. Alright, one of these chests. There are the saplings. I'll just leave all those behind for now because I don't particularly need them. So, let's go pick up anything else I might need. Sun's going down. Time to reset the weather timer pretty soon. Anything else on the ground? I'm looking. I don't think so, though. There's the last few leaf blocks here, but I'd probably be safe to just leave them. I'm pretty sure not everyone is on summer break by now. There's a particular viewer I'm gonna wait and be like, hey, you're on summer break yet? I thought you said June. What is that, shading? Shading where? You're talking about the glow at the horizon, yeah, it's sunset. Sun goes down. The Zella moon rises. And awakeness, Kurt J. Mack used to say. Alright, I think I'll grab one of those extra stacks of saplings, since we're just going straight home after this. Ooh, where's the boat? There it is. Alright. This is probably the nicest staircase I have that leads up to the skylight, other than whatever's close to spawn. And that's because this is an actual staircase, and not hole blocks. Alright, now we can head on back. This way, right? Yep. Shouldn't take too long. Little less, or a little more than 2,500 blocks travel distance. I saw all those pigmen spawn right there. Hold on, I wonder. No, maybe not. Wondering if they changed. No, maybe they did do something with pigment spawning. Why am I seeing them in groups now? It used to be the pigment separate. I don't know. Maybe they didn't. Oh! Wasn't watching. Go, go, go. There's indeed quite a lot of food available. Not long now until what? You say the nether will be a lot more interesting, yet I think to myself, once I collect all the 1.16 nether blocks, I don't particularly have any plans. That's not true. I'll need to get netherite, which means I'll have to find new chunks. Howdy, Griffin. Welcome back. How has there not been any new food since 1.17? It's been 4 years. That means all the animals added since then have not dropped anything new. Alright, anyways, let me toss this. That was one whole stack. That's another whole stack. There we go, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Is the armadillo the only new animal? I know they're the wolf variants, the other mob variants, like pigs, chicken, and cows. Alright, let me feel better about myself and fill this up with cobblestone. There we go. So hooray, now all of these are full with cobblestone. There was the sniffer, but does the sniffer count as an actual animal? Alright, so these are saplings. Zelenako's definitely looking great after I started putting the shelves in. There are different egg colors. You're telling me not only are there chicken variants, there are also egg color variants? Apple birch. Are you talking about the spawn eggs? Oh, no wonder why. I don't have any birch saplings down there. That's why I couldn't figure out the problem. Each chicken variant has its own egg. No, that's not gonna be nice for my my egg collection. Oh boy. That's just gonna make things less fun because now I have to sort each egg. Oy. Alright, so next I need... That's supposed to be a Megamind reference. I don't know what else you would reference that I would know. Alright, I needed all the wood I just put away. But first, I kind of forgot I had all the strip logs. Whoop. But yeah, we are gonna take 9, 16. We're gonna take all 16 stacks of these and we're gonna turn these into chests. That's sad with the amount of I should say the lack of... Oh wait, hold on. We're just gonna temporarily borrow this. Or, you know what, I have an idea. Why don't I just grab a crafting table and permanently leave it over there? It's a Breaking Bad reference. Oh, never watched it. And I haven't seen Megabind in years, since it was new. What did you miss? I'm back home. All I was doing was chopping down trees. You know what, here, I'll take... How about I take 5 of these and leave each one at the computer stands? I'm fine with leaving pumpkin pie as it is, but I still feel like we could totally use apple pie. The same recipe as a pumpkin pie, but replace the pumpkin with an apple. I'm pretty sure they just haven't added it yet because they've never heard me talk about it. If I could get my idea to Mojang, I feel like no one there would disagree. I'd be cool with sweet berry pie as well. Am I supposed to know who this Frederick person is? Glowberry pie? Interested. I don't really have any disagreements though. What do you even use glowberries for? Because you use glow ink sacks for the item frames and signs. What do you use glowberries for? I haven't seen them in a while. I think it's just glow, I guess. And yes, howdy, welcome back. Oh wait, there's a lamp there. Hold on. That ruined my plan. If I do that, then you're just covering the iron. I guess I could do that. Each of these just became practical workstations now. Alright, so next. Berry pie would indeed make the berries a better food source. Because right now, I don't think they're super effective unless you have a bunch of them. But if you have a bunch of them, you have to take the time to eat all of them, assuming you eat them directly. One day perhaps, they will have a improved glowing effect. Minecraft probably doesn't have grapes currently because, I don't know. Other than +1 food source, what else would we use them for? You know people are going to want to make wine mods from that. I just now realized this was indeed a lot of chests, but I know I'm gonna burn through these rather quickly. Add spaghetti. I feel like we would need tomatoes for spaghetti. Oh, Zella Moon rises. Huzzah. I wish Minecraft had an update that didn't include any features, but was focused, for Java Edition, primarily on performance and bug fixes. Bedrock Edition, performance is not as bad as it could be, but plenty of bugs could be fixed. I don't know if we'll ever get that. I don't know if we'll have another update similar to 1.15. All we could do is hope. You don't belong here. Except 1.15 still had new stuff anyway. The amazing update. Terrible puns every day. And where did I run out of chests? Because I can't remember. Is this whole side done? Did I start working on the other side? Oh, here it is. You know, maybe I should work more on this side as well. So this one's all facing inward, right? I don't know if we'll ever have a full-sized food update, for the reason being, by more food sources, wouldn't that decrease the value of every food source? Oops. Oh, wait, no, that's okay, that'll work. Oops, that doesn't work. Oops, that's not right. How come real life get away with an insane amount of food sources? Because us as humans generally require a lot of food sources. Is there any one particular food that humans can survive perfectly healthy on? One singular type of food? There's probably been studies into this, but I feel like it's very unlikely. One of the chests wasn't doubled? Is that a late response, or did I already fix it? You're right, I didn't fix it. You can eat potatoes and survive, but can you survive living healthy only on potatoes? That's where the difference comes from. One day I'd hope we'd get french fries in Minecraft, but if we get french fries in Minecraft, we would need salt. Salt is an item where I feel like one day they might add it, because I'm sure Mojang would be able to find plenty of uses for salt. But we'll see. Maybe we'll finally get cooked eggs. We could have a salted egg. I remember Gloria's food. Don't know what the name of it, what the proper name of the song is, but that was from, was that Ice Age? Rotten flesh in the jerky? Probably. If you're allowed to just eat it rotten, I can understand being able to eat it with salt. It'd still be rotten though. The salt would make it safe to eat. But if you put salt on something already rotten, that doesn't make it unrotten. It can remove the, I should say, not have the hunger effect applied. Putting one bath salt. Oi. You know, I might have enough chests to finish this one row. We're gonna be getting it close though. Same food and saturation, but no food poisoning? Yeah, that'd be fine with me. One of these days, I should count how many double chests we have in here and compare this to the warehouse. Compare this to the singular warehouse. Because now I was thinking about it, I kind of do want to know what the storage capacity is of this compared to the warehouse. I haven't used Tinker's Construct in a long time. It was never a mod I would willingly install. It would just be there as part of mod packs. Am I worried about lag? Lag because of the chests? Can't be worse than home. Can't be worse at the warehouses. The frame rate over there is terrible. Part of that is, you know, all those pig spawners. Is it not turning night yet? I was seeing things. I'm not concerned about chunk corruption if all the chests just stay empty. I'm pretty sure that video was staged if you're talking about... Oh, did I do this backward? The creeper comes and blows up the chest, and lightning strikes right after. If there's another video, I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know how much of these chests I'll use as storage, because if I already have all the warehouses, the amount of time it would take to move stuff over here. Now, if all these chests are just empty, I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. Alright, well, with all that taken care of, the next step is we'll start stacking the... We'll need to start stacking these, whatchamacallits. Start stacking the shelves, since I want them higher than this. Too late for barrels. I already have all these chests. I'm not chopping all these chests down. But yeah, they do not have the entity render of the chest. They are a full block with an associated tile entity. But unlike the chests, they just render the full block. Chests used to render a full block until beta 1.8. And then beta 1.8, you have the entity for the chest render itself. Nom 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 nom. So yeah, we're gonna head back and grab all the oak wood. Go from here. For double chests, they use... It might be one entity render, but for tile entities, each block is still separate. At least it used to be. I don't know if 1.13 changed that. But there are indeed. In fact, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have changed that, because if you chop down one chest, it doesn't drop every item. So if you were to take something like this chest where you have stuff in the one chest and the second chest, if I were to break one of these, all the items would still be in the other chest. I do not plan on having an underground Zelenako. There's only going to be one Zelenako, because this is a very, very large scale project. And let me just grab all of that, and grab all of that. So the moon rises, we'll catch some Z's, reset the weather timer, then we're going back to work. I don't plan on having a basement. I don't know if stuff like Costco's, Walmart's, Target's, I don't know if those types of stores have basements, usually. I know there's like workspace areas, but I feel like they would not have basements for the reason of, for shelves, particularly in a Costco, these are really large shelves with a lot of product on them. You want to make sure the floor is super, super, super sturdy. I don't know how thick the concrete is that they lay for the floor itself, but I would need to believe that it would make sense to keep the ground completely solid underneath, to support all the shelves and all the product and all the people going to be walking around. So I'd have to say, for a large scale store like a Costco, I would not expect them to have a basement. Alright, so now, you know what I didn't do? I thought about it. In fact, I walked right up to, I think it was this shelf over here. Let me just jump on all this stuff. I was looking at this shelf right here, and I was thinking, put a ladder on the inside, that's how I get up. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't come back with shelves. Ladders. I have the shelves. I didn't come back with ladders. Yeah, well, let me go back. Back forth, back forth. Maybe one day I'll make a better transit system for this. This is sort of not in the best area, though. Oh well, one thing at a time. I don't even know how many ladders I have. Thankfully, I picked up a bunch of sticks. Maybe I should do only one ladder to start out with per shelf. Yeah, that's one of the reasons as well as why I didn't make the shelves taller to begin with. It's because I wanted to wait until I had ladders. Unfortunately, Potato, I would not be able to provide any mental audio reference. I also haven't heard Pure Imagination in so long. I don't even know the last time I've even watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. There was a video I saw, well, I guess I had it on in the background listening, that was making a comparison between the original 70s movie and then the early 2000s Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah, mental audio reference, because, you know, people can play audio in their head, right? If you are unable to do that, then I can't help you. 5, 6, 7, yeah, a whole stack. If I was playing Alpha, this would have gotten me exactly 1 stack of ladders. But we're playing Modern. We get 3 stacks. My opinion before and after remains generally the same, even though now I do understand more. Yeah, the newer movie from early 2000s, I understand and appreciate more. I never read the book. I don't know if I ever will read it. But yeah, in addition to being more accurate to the source material, it's also the quality of the movie itself. This isn't modern. 1.15 is modern. Kind of. It's a lot more modern compared to Alpha. Just think it's funny. Well, I don't know how else to describe. Listen to the audio that plays in your head. It's not even the new Nether. The new Nether's in the next update, though. 1.18 is when modern starts now. You see, here's the problem with that logic. That means something modern is no longer modern. Do you accept that? Yeah, 1.15 is already 6 years old. Alright, hold on. So if that's the floor, that means it's plus 4 logs, and then the planks. We have this discussion every so often of like, what is modern Minecraft? And so it comes down to it's subjective, and I'm gonna keep sticking to that because I don't know if there's a better way comparing this version is the start of modern, which means 10 years later, that's still start of modern, compared to, let's say, anything within the past 5 years is modern. So then that way, that's always moving forward. Just think, 50 years from now, if Minecraft's still going, and if you still think 1.12 is modern, 1.12 is going to be modern for 57 years. That doesn't sound right. And so at some point later down the line, we'll just need designated eras. And using the literal definition of modern will not be as applicable. 8 years, not 7. I should have said 58, not 57. My fault. Alright, let's think. So if we're going up another 4 blocks, I can fit one more, but do I want to? How do the shelves look so far? Because right now, that's already 3 stacks of chests I have to place down. I guess 6 stacks since each shelf holds on to 2. You know, we'll go one more. If I'm going all the way, I might as well. So I could fit one more layer of the shelf here. And oh no, this is getting expensive. Because I'm adding plus 25% of the building materials. I wonder if they separated the IDs just for better, just to better distinguish from the two. It's kind of like the same thing as why they split mob egg variants. It was not Minecraft Nostalgia where I was shoveling snow, it was Minecraft Legacy. Yes, I remember all that snow shoveling. Oh boy. Oh wait, once I complete the shelves and they're all facing this way, how am I even supposed to... There's no way for me to get around this. Unless if I were... I don't have any way to fill in the shelves unless if I were to walk up there, place down all the chests, and then jump off. Because I don't have a way to have these chests face the correct direction and then get back to the ladder. I think Golden Age will be always looked back to, even if as time passes, less and less people played Golden Age when it was the only age. I didn't realize that magma cubes going through nether portals ever had a problem. In fact, here, let me just do this now before I not think about it again. I kind of assumed magma cubes would have just been alright. Yeah, I'm trying to think how to light this up. I was shoveling with multiple other people. I'm pretty sure several people helped me shovel snow. Yeah, we're gonna place down all these ladders first, so that way I can feel better about myself. You know, maybe I will only have them on the one side. Because I'm thinking about this. If this goes all the way up to the top of the shelf, this is gonna be expensive. So yeah, just to save on resources, let's not put a shelf on each side. Or not put a ladder on each side. Yeah, people will always be playing beta 1.7.3. That's the version that will never go away. Yeah, let me go catch some Z's. Reset the weather timer. We've already passed the not being the same game a long time ago. Oops. I wonder if someone has made a full detailed analysis of the different Minecraft eras and versions, or at least their opinion on that. I feel like 1.6 to 1.7 still has enough similarities, though. If you ignore the terrain. Don't worry, Paul, we've gotten to the point where it is very difficult for us to not save any publicly released version. Did y'all know 1.16 was re-uploaded? It was re-uploaded within the first couple hours or so. After its release, I think. I'd have to see a lighting comparison. Because I've never felt a lighting difference between 1.6 and 1.7. I'd understand what you mean if I saw it, though. I didn't think lighting changed since beta 1.8. Early on in I think it was the 1.15 pre-releases, though, they did something with the block lighting in the inventory. Made me think back to beta 1.8. They fixed that before the full release, though. Of course, I'm going to play both pre-re-upload and re-upload. Don't you remember just recently, at the very end of 1.14.4, I realized I skipped the pre-re-upload of 1.14.2 pre-3, I think. I'd have to see the lighting, because if I've never felt the difference, have other people ever felt the difference? I'm not all surprised that you can have a inf dev world from 3.27 and make it into modern versions with minimal issues. I am using colored lighting. I'm using the default color palette of lighting. Wait, maybe it's not the default anymore. Maybe that's why I never noticed, because the lighting I've always used on here is from whatever we got in beta 1.8. I think. Maybe. I'd have to see the comparison. Alright, let me look around real fast, because we have whopping 59 ladders left. Does 1.6 feel more like 1.7 because of the change in controls? Whereas 1.5 feels closer to 1.4. I never made the colors grayscale on here. I thought about having super saturated colors. Really big yellows for artificial lights, and really blue for moonlight, but I never got around to that. But no, I never grayscaled it. Alright, we're in a giant stone area. You ready for this? I forgot I never set the thingy. And I still don't know why multi-MC doesn't properly download the assets. This is about to look terrible, isn't it? The lighting feels a bit like a smoother transition. I also didn't realize I had programmer art on. That's okay. I wonder if this has any difference. But no, if they would have kept 1.13 colors, then this would not be a difference. This looks like a big jump though. It's like small, 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 and then big jump. You know what, here's what I'll do. Hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a screenshot there. Turn this back on. I forgot I had the Christmas chest resource pack, then I'm pretty sure I didn't need that. Let that go away. Thank you. Boop. Alright, let me go over to my screenshots folder. I wish there was a way to access the folder itself and not just the thingy. I'm trying to see the difference between lighting. Oh, you know, I see the difference. It's brighter. I should say it's darker now, which amplifies the contrast. In fact, here, I could do this. Where is my main desktop? So this is normal. And then this is with the resource pack. You can see the lighting is brighter. The brights are brighter. Whereas here it's a little smoothed out. There's still the high contrast and darkness there though. I don't even know how well this shows up. Yeah, one thing with the lamps though, the reason why those are brighter is it's a different texture. This is using, I want to say, the snapshot texture. Because at some point the redstone lamps had a change in texture. But anyways, part of this is the texture difference and part of it's the lighting as well. Anyways, not important. Side quest over. Back to work. Alright, so now we are working on... See, this feels like a proper Costco shelf to me. I look up and it's just tall. Alright, Yeah, 1.13 does not feel the same to 1.12. I will always go back and prefer 1.8 over 1.7. There are times where I prefer 1.12 over 1.13. Numeric block aids. But oops. Yeah, ignoring the usage of the numeric IDs. Performance was one of them, as Potato mentioned. One of the reasons for 1.12. I will always prefer the oceans, though. The oceans between 1.7 and 1.12 were not fun. I don't know if the chunks not rendering issue ever got fixed. It shows up every once in a while. Every once in a while there's an update where it gets worse. I was here in 1.15 and there's a problem right over there. I don't know if that's the same thing though. But yeah, between 1.4 or so, from 1.4 to 1.12, there's for sure a big rendering problem. I know in 1.15 they redid the entire rendering engine, which had different issues, I think. At least in the pre-releases it did. If you ignore the size of beta 1.8 oceans, beta 1.8 to 1.6, I prefer their look over the 1.7 endless gravel. I do not have fond memories of endless gravel oceans. I just remember when they were added, but that's because I have fond memories of the 1.7 update when it came out. That's back when I was still playing multiplayer. Don't worry, Potato, I remember talking about this yesterday. And I will continue to add, there's a reason why people called it the mild update. There we go, now these shelves feel proper and imposing. Except we're gonna run out of wood before we even get to the end of the row. I'd rather not go more tree chopping today, though. I already did plenty of tree chopping. I could do that another day. And there's sort of a program to detect how many words are used per stream. YouTube provides transcripts automatically. I don't know how accurate they are. I'd like to hope that they got better as time passed. But YouTube has automatic transcripts. And so you'd have to go through the transcript for each video to determine word usage. Here's the thing about, biomes o'plenty in modern versions. From what it seems like, they're trying to get a new biome every few versions or so. Every couple of versions. Is the cherry blossom I should say the mangrove swamp 1.19. You had the cherry blossom in 1.20, the pale garden 1.21. There may or may not be another biome I'm not remembering after 1.18. let me grab planks. What you could do is load up a bunch of 1.17 chunks and then jump several versions to get the trial chambers. In fact, that way, if you were to skip 1.18 and 19, you'd get the newer generation overall. This generation is 415 and then 1.18 caves. I don't know how I feel about 1.18 caves at this point, for the reason of I need to go back and play them again. Yeah, I don't know if you were talking about 415 caves with 415 terrain with 1.18 caves, but those are not naturally compatible. I don't think any I was gonna say no pre-InDev had Bedrock. Bedrock wasn't part of the terrain generator until InDev. You would have Bedrock at the bottom of an InDev world based upon whatever the world settings were for the world borders. Yeah, otherwise for InfDev, as Potato said, InfDev didn't get Bedrock at the bottom for several versions. You'd have to use MCEdit in a version before 1.13 if you wanted to get the Bedrock down there. So is that what you were saying about trial chambers and old chunks, that they have to be new chunks and they cannot be converted chunks? Because I was reading what you were saying earlier, and that one use case where there was overlap. For the ancient city under the monolith, was that by accident or did you have to go through a bunch of seeds? Because I kind of remember you saying that. Unless I'm crazy, in which case you never told me that before. But I feel like we talked about that. Specifically search for one. Or I had a feeling that was the case. I don't remember if I said. I'm about to say something else, though. We have a problem. I ran out of ladders, and we're not done yet. Ah, this one still had one more layer to go. I could probably... I can't even finish this in its entirety. Because I could do 4 of these. And then that's that. Well, anyways, I don't remember if I was talking about it before, but I found a video that came out a few years ago, and someone found a seed where a monolith generated right at the edge of where the Farlands started. Of course, the Farlands terrain overrode the monolith terrain. That was to be expected. But it was still kind of cool because there's a while back I was trying to find a seed, any seed, where the monolith generated right at the start of the Farlands, and it looks like someone beat me to it. Alright, well, I guess we're done with the shelves for now. Here, how does it feel walking walking down this area. Hooray. You know what? It's time. You know what we're doing next? We're going to start building some of those free sample carts. If you shared the video with me, I would need to verify whether or not it's a different one than one I've... Oh wait, hold on. Was it you that shared that video? Because I don't know how I found that video. It very well could have been you that sent it to me. Anyways, Yeah, I feel like test build 3 would be the easiest way to get the most amount of bedrock, but at that point, if you started a world in test build 3, you wouldn't have... if you started the world in test build 3, you would not have any holes in the bedrock to begin with. I don't know yet how I'll do the free sample cards. I'll figure them out. They're usually... Well, I guess they're not always something that's microwaved. Oh well, one thing at a time. Is I know they're like juices and stuff. I'm trying to remember what types of samples I've had before. Where I keep my bones again. Alright, cool. So, we're just gonna hold on to that. Oh, that's why I can't sprint anymore. I'm hungry. Nom 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 nom. I'm just gonna accept whatever bedrock occurs beneath the world because I think to myself, do I need the caves that badly? We're gonna end up with some chunks. We may or may not end up with chunks underneath the Endev worlds of 1.18 caves. I feel like that's a big no. Because I might have moved all of those worlds up by one. Not important. That's a problem for future me. Not even this UMP part we're going to deal with. Alright, so with all that taken care of, we're now low on wood, but we'll deconstruct that later. I know it was Y1 and not Y0 for Classic, but I don't know if it's the same thing for Endev worlds. I can't remember. I'd have to go down there and manually check myself since I don't have access to MC Edit. One thing at a time. We are looking for stuff to build the carts out of. I could do mine carts as you said, but I'm not sure. I would need some sort of covering for it, which means, I guess if it was like a minecart... Hold on, let me see if I could have a minecart over a trapdoor. I wanted to visualize how that looks. I gotta find the carts chest first. Do I have any... Dare I deconstruct these, the minecarts with chests and minecarts with furnaces? If the height limit changes and the terrain generator doesn't specify, they're going to be empty anyway. Alright, so I needed... We're going to start out with one minecart, just use this as a test. Look, it's a minecart and not entity.minecartwritable.name with one NBT tag. So then now I need rails. So that's there. Oh yeah, I forgot. These are darker. They better match the item. And then I needed iron trapdoors. But the question is, do I keep iron trapdoors separate from regular trapdoors? Are you saying only within 1.12 to get Bedrock, or are you saying any previous methods? Speaking of Bedrock, for some reason I thought I had more. I think I used to have more before I built the Wither farm. Not the Wither farm, the Wither... whatchamacalled? The Wither fighting arena. 1.18, assuming it's already converted, would mean that only new chunks in 1.18 would have the expanded terrain. E424 is only a forbidden version if you accept it to be that way. Okay, these are where I have corals. Oh yeah, how many bells do I have? 4. I should build a sign that says taco and put the bell underneath. Taco Bell. But oops. People aren't going to be getting the 1.18 caves in your 5x5 area normally, because once you passed 1.18, you're stating that it is no longer, whatchamacalled, no longer supported to play. You could keep going, but I thought 1.17 was the last version, because otherwise you're going to keep working on this forever. And I'm not currently seeing any iron trapdoor. Oh wait, just kidding. I'll just take all of these in the event that I do like what I see. There's no way to prevent people from building a solid platform under regular circumstances. But for the one Bedrock, players would have to go out and get that first. So if I were to build something like this, and then maybe I'd have to stop the minecart from moving. Let me grab some more of the smooth stone, some more iron. Because I could do like iron there, block of stone there, and then have like a furnace there. Nah, I already used the furnaces for the cash registers. We'll do something else. Excuse me, buddy. We're looking at... could use dispensers. I don't know how many of these sample carts we're gonna have. I'll probably put another torch on them as well. Oh wait, if I put that there, then... there we go. This is gonna be our sample cart. I cannot particularly make it thinner because there's no way to have... oh, you know what? There is a way. I'm about to pull a big brain move. So, say I put that iron trapdoor there, right? Let me dig this up real fast. If I had detector rail, that's not what I want. Oops, I'm destroying everything. If I had a detector rail with the minecart on top... oh, wait, but then that also powers that one. Okay, I got close. What I could do is just use carpet. But yeah, there we go. That way, the minecart's not going to move around. I feel great. I feel smart for doing that. Because at first I was thinking there's no way to put the torch down there to power it, but then I realized I don't need the torch. I'll just use the minecart. Alright, well the last thing I wanted to see was how much carpet we have. Because I know you can put carpet on rails. You know what I could do? I could use different carpet colors. Not make all of them the same. That will give some variation. Let's see, how many am I going to put around? How about I have 8? There we go. So that way each of the free sample stands is going to be a different color. So then that means I'll need a couple more trapdoors. Because if that's one trapdoor each. And so to get the carpet on, so I'll have to do that, then put the carpet. There we go. There's the food stand. Alright, cool. Alright, I know what I'm doing. Maybe I should have left that there, demonstrator. Too late. There was iron on the right? No, none of that. Oh, here, let me go put that away. I don't even know why I have so many detector rails. Something happened. Alright, we'll also need to make several more minecarts, but we'll do those over there. So I'll need... this only creates 1. Okay, so we have the 8 trapdoors, we have the 8 carpet. Alright, dispensers. We're gonna hold on to all that iron in case I need to make more minecarts. Then I think we're all set. Anyone who's playing through the snapshots should fully understand whatever problems are going to occur in those snapshots. I feel like if you're going to play a snapshot on such a large-scale world as this, it would be wise to be informed as to what problems are going to occur. Alright, so now, I think to myself, safe to put away the slime balls. Alright, so we have iron, dispenser, rails, carpet. We'll craft the minecarts once we're over there. Alright, back to work we go. What do we have? About 25 minutes left of the day. Let's not jump into there. Every once in a while, I have a concern that I'm going to end up falling into that void hole. Let's not do that. If I just put some fences around it, we'd be fine. Do. Alright, let's get back to work. Someone very well could have had a survival world on there. A survival world dedicated to the new snapshots. And so, on that world, they went fishing. And poof, it happened. Alright, so we're gonna do 8. That means I'll probably have one on each of the 4 sides. I'll be able to put the cart probably around here. In fact, I'll just save the minecarts for last. Oops. I forget that you place the rails directionally now because I'm so used to them always facing a certain direction. Alright, so I gotta remember, place them sideways. Boop. Like, because I have the first minecart. There we go. There's our food. Oh, wait, hold on. Isn't it? I did this backward because it's not on the outside, it's on the inside. They're on the inside of the aisle. Alright, hold on. Just kidding. Let me get rid of you real fast. Sorry. Alright, so if you're on the inside, they're usually facing outward, which means we're going to have the rail be right there. We're going to turn this around. There you go. This is where the person stands with all the samples. There we go. Alright, cool. I feel a little better. Sure, it takes up half the aisle, but that's okay. There's still 2 blocks width to get through. Alright, I think this is fine. Alright, now I just have to put down a few more of these. How many aisles do I even have? So if I skip that one, there's 1. I'm gonna have to have one on most of these aisles. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 aisles in total. That's straight up 1 per aisle, except for 1. I didn't think I would be putting down this many food carts. Unless if I were to differentiate, say back here and up front. I could also put maybe a couple somewhere in this mid area where the smaller things are. Well, either way, first things first, let's reset the weather timer. There are monsters nearby. That's not cool. There we go. And I kind of fell through the bed. Oh, you know what? I haven't done this in a while. Let's go do this real fast. I kind of forgot I had my bee farm going. I'm sure the chunks have been loaded plenty of time. I don't know how it detects the pattern, but it has to be horizontal, I believe. It's probably something similar to how iron golem and snow golems are detected. Can be vertical too. Oh, it can be vertical or horizontal, but it can be placed in either dimension. That's what I was forgetting. Because I knew it was one and not the other. It can only be placed in the end, I should say. Move that, move that, move that. Alright, we're gonna wait around for some bees. Because I need some more. In fact, while I'm here, probably should not have left that door open. Alright, come on bees, pop on out. How many do I have? 5, right? So if I could breed 4 of them. I originally thought that it can be done in the overworld. Because that's just what I thought I remembered from 9 years ago. And then as I was testing the snapshot, it had to be the end. Oh well. Alright, come on bees, plop on out. Do 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 do. Maybe I should make... No, because if I need more bees now... Here, I wonder if I hold flowers... There's 2. Come on. I really want 4, because then this will get us to... I guess that would only get us to 7. Alright, fine. Boop, boop. Oh wait, that one's still a small fry. I didn't realize that. Hold up. There we go. Did that work? Yep. Alright, cool. Yeah, these tiny bees are not growing up fast enough. Alright, so either way, that is +1 bee breeding, so now we're at 6 bees. Alright, 6 bees out of 9. Alright, so now we can go back to work. I just had the honey stuff to catch up on. Alright, away we go. Side quest over. Let's get back to the main story. I'm just looking through the front doors, and this really is feeling much more like a completed building. Seeing the different design work inside. Alright, so let's get back to work here, because if I really don't feel like it, I don't need to have all 8 of the food carts. That's 3, right? I very well could just only have up to 6. I don't know how much I want to put them way over at the far sides. What version are you currently in? If you've told me before, I've forgotten. It's also the possibility you updated from last time I remember. Beta 1.5. Beta 1.5 is a pretty good version. You still have minecart boosting. Yay. Alright, so I have enough for 2 more sample carts. If I blocked one of the aisles somewhere around here, that would not be such a big deal because of how much walk space there is. I wonder if the reason why is because they only want 1 dragon at a time. And so it says, if no dragon, spawn dragon. The creeper had to be vertical, not horizontal. I guess I just didn't remember anything of that then. I could put the cart, like, maybe right over here. So there's 1. Kind of blocking the aisle, but that's alright. And then I'll put another one somewhere over here going backward. Alright, there we go. So now I need 7 7 mine cards times 5. 35. Turns out I did have enough iron bars for that. I did not do the mental math earlier. I feel like if it's the same as iron golems and snow golems, it would only be upon block placed. The last block placed and not a detection if that block pattern already exists. Where did that slime come from? Did he fall off the shelf? Did the slime spawn on the shelf and fall off? You know what? Now I have a question. Because I want to know if slimes can spawn on top of these shelves. And where did I not put that last minecart? Oh, here it is. So yeah, 15W's 35, I thought, was around when it started. Playing that one because it's one of the E snapshots. I thought you were playing it because it didn't do the thingy. Not meant to. Welcome back. Your favorite YouTuber is still streaming for the next 13 minutes or so. Let's see, is this beneath Y40? No, it's not. Slimes will not be able to spawn on top of these shelves. We made it to 51. They didn't do the thingy. I thought that snapshot was the one that didn't spawn the dragon, but the clay still disappears. Alright, I think now we're all good. We're getting there. So if you look over on this corner, this side is getting almost completed. Oh, it spawns a dragon if no dragon. Alright, then I probably misread your previous message then. Because I thought you said it stopped spawning the dragon, but the clay will still disappear anyway. Perhaps I didn't read that. Been playing house with your siblings. Alrighty. Oh wait, can I? Can I be a ninja? Nope, because I can't sprint. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to do some sort of lighting up top. Because I don't want bad guys spawning on tops of these shelves. I'm alright at parkour. I can make a 4-block jump. I'll make a 4-block jump when I want to. I didn't want to yet. Nope, yeah, nighttime's definitely approaching. I could just put torches on each of the 4 logs and call them emergency lights. But that's not the same. And no, I did not make that jump. Oi. Alright, well, either way, let me catch some Z's, reset the weather timer when there are not monsters nearby. Yeah, I recently learned, I say recently, but it was already a few months ago. I already remember learning about the old portal getting replaced with Endstone. That made me sad, because it happened here on stream. They still generate a .mcr file? I have no idea. Alright, I think we're all good. I didn't rebuild it because if I just replace the endstone with bedrock, will it still get replaced? with endstone again? Or is it because it was specifically the portal? Because I have the bedrock. I can technically replace it. Other than the end blocks. The portal blocks, I should say. I could put the bedrock back, but not the portal. I think because it was the portal, then one of these days I might try rebuilding that. I think we're all good though. This really does feel a lot more like the store I was hoping. We got the tall shelves, we're working on the chests, and we have our little food places, or food free samples. We also have less than 10 minutes for the day. Alright, let's go head back. Put away this iron that we don't need. Alrighty, I would indeed like to know the results. I just realized I was back down to 29. I was about to say, where did all my levels go? And then I remembered, oh right, I enchanted all those books recently. Maybe we'll head back to the end and get my axe going. I don't really feel like starting something new this late in the stream. We'll check on the bee farm before we go back. In fact, I wonder how many honeycombs I have, because I might collect some of those and make the last nest. Or sorry, the beehive, not the bee nest. I'm probably going to be getting those confused for the rest of part 4. And then eventually part 5 rolls around and I'll still be calling them, I'll still be switching them out. Ready to go on 5 minutes Minty Standard Time. Of course. Of course. Alright, so I needed 6 planks. Do I even have 6 planks anymore? I have 16. Let me verify real fast how many of the honeycomb blocks I have. I'm probably also going to bring some crafting tables. I might bring them over to the front side of the store. Or you know what I could do? I could put one crafting table in the maintenance access area. So that way I'll have crafting tables at the loading docks and at the maintenance area. And honeycombs, I think we're over here. I have 2. A total stream length is indeed 10 minutes running on Minty Standard Time. Alright, hold up here. Let me go back real fast. Because the crafting tables are over here. Thank you for your service, golems. Eventually, once I have a large supply of slime balls again, then I'll go back to working more in the area. Alright, so now I have the crafting table. I guess that's that. I feel like checking for clay upon entering the end feels like an unoptimized process, which is why the best solution, from a development standpoint, is only when the block is placed. But I don't know how Mojang did it, because they probably weren't thinking about optimization when they were working on testing out the features. They just need it done quickly. Doop. One of these days, now that I have a bunch of cobblestone collected again, one of these days I'll need to expand that tower back up to the top of the world where it should be. Pop in for an early buy. Got about 5 minutes before other stuff occurs. Alright, let me. Huzzah! I'll take that and then one more. The portal deleted 70% of one of the pillars. Such is how it goes when creating a new one. Yeah, the pre 1.9 pillars do indeed have a high tendency of saying bye-bye upon the new portal or the new pillars getting created. I'm pretty sure I have one or two old pillars on this world that were partially deleted. The 1.8 portal deleted the pillar? Oh, that's what you meant. Because you put the... I see. Because when you killed the dragon, it was above the pillar, and then the portal went straight down. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. I guess I'll just plop this in the corner. Alright, cool. Now I can do my crafting over here, at either side of the Zelenako. Why does today feel like a Friday? Today feels like a Wednesday to me. That's not entirely true. I don't know what's happening tomorrow. When I say that, I'm referring to I don't know what time I'll be streaming at. Assuming I do indeed get a stream in tomorrow. For all I know, it ends up getting too late, and I don't get a stream in. No, let's not do that. I think I just lost one of my bees. Or I'm about to. I thought the smoke was would have been high enough though. Yep, we lost the big one. So we're gonna go back down to what, 5 bees after this? I have a cousin visiting from the other side of the US. And so we'll be spending some time tomorrow. I'm waiting for the inevitable because I know it's going to happen. I guess we're not going back to the end. We got 2 minutes anyways. How long do bees live? I'm waiting for it. Am I not crazy? There it goes. Bye-bye. No dragon either version of the world. I had a feeling that was the case. Because I know for iron golems and snow golems, it only checks for block placement. Yeah, I'm gonna take that, thank you. Alright, so now we're down to 5 bees. Alright, well, we could still at least support up to 12 currently. I should get a sign. I keep saying that, and then I don't. Yeah, let me head back over here as I prepare for the next stream, as I look over and think what to do next. Maybe I will, for now, put the torches on top of the thingies. The shelves, there we go. Because I don't have a way to keep that all nice and bright. Unless if I were to put lamps up there with a redstone torch for each. You know, maybe I'll stand up here and decide that for next time. But yeah, if y'all have any final thoughts, start saying them now, stream delay and all that. As I look around here and think, a lamp per log would be fine. Or maybe just opposite corners. Well, anyways, that's indeed all it for today. We'll be back again when I have the availability to do so. And so that's indeed all it for today. Thank you all for watching. Bye.